Have you ever given a piece of your heart to someone, a friend, a partner, a colleague, only to have them crush it in their hands? There is no physical wound quite as painful as the invisible knife of betrayal. When we are stabbed in the back, the shock takes our breath away. We ask ourselves, how could they? After all I did for them, the mind begins to spin in a dark circle. We replay the memories, looking for the signs we missed. We feel foolish, we feel angry, and deep down, a burning fire begins to grow, a fire called revenge. We want them to hurt as we hurt, we want them to pay. But listen closely, my friend, this fire you are holding, it is not burning them, it is burning you. It is scorching your peace, drying up your joy, and keeping you awake in the long, lonely hours of the night. You are seeking justice, but you are drinking poison. Today, I invite you to put down that heavy burden for just a few minutes. Let us sit by the river of ancient wisdom. I want to share a story with you, a story written in the ink of destiny about two men, a stolen fortune, and the undeniable, crushing weight of karma. Breathe in deeply, and let us begin. In the misty peaks of the Yellow Mountains, during an age when honor was valued more than gold, there lived two merchants named Wei and Han. They were not just business partners, they were brothers of the soul. They had shared the same bowl of rice when they were poor, and they had sheltered under the same cloak during the winter storms. Wei was a man of open hands and a warm heart. He trusted easily, believing that the world was as honest as he was. Han, however, was different. He was sharp, ambitious, and his eyes often darted to the shadows, calculating the worth of everything he saw. But Wei loved him, and love often wears a blindfold. One autumn, they embarked on a perilous journey to the distant Silk City. They carried with them the finest jade and silks, the culmination of 10 years of hard labor. This fortune was meant to secure their retirement, to build houses for their families, and to ensure rest for their old age. The journey was long. The rain fell like ink upon the rice paper of the sky. As they navigated a treacherous mountain pass, Wei fell ill with a fever. He was weak, shaking like a leaf in the wind. They took shelter in a small, abandoned cave to wait out the storm. "Rest, brother," Han said, his voice smooth as polished stone. "I will watch over the goods. I will watch over you." Grateful, Wei drank the tea. Han prepared for him and fell into a deep, heavy sleep. When Wei awoke, the storm had passed. The sun was cutting through the mist, but the cave was silent. Too silent. Wei called out, "Han." No answer. Wei struggled to his feet, his body still weak. He looked to the corner where their chests of jade and silk had been stacked. They were gone. The horses were gone. And Han, his brother of the soul, was gone. Beside where Wei had slept, there was a small pouch of water and a single stale crust of bread. It was not a gift of mercy. It was a cruel joke. Han had left him just enough to survive the hour, but not enough to survive the journey. He had left Wei to die in the cold silence of the mountains, taking 10 years of their life with him. The pain that hit Wei was not the fever. It was a shattering in his chest. He screamed into the canyon, but only his echo answered. For 3 days, Wei crawled down the mountain. He ate roots and drank rainwater from the hollows of rocks. Every step was a battle against death. But what kept him alive was not hope, it was rage. He visualized Han's face. He imagined wrapping his hands around the traitor's throat. He swore by the heavens that he would find Han, and he would exact a punishment so severe that the gods would look away. Wei survived. He made it to a village, a broken skeleton of a man. He had nothing. He washed dishes for scraps of food. He slept in the hay with the animals. But the fire of revenge kept him warm. Years passed. The sharp blade of Wei's anger began to dull. replaced by a heavy, weary sadness. He realized that while he was plotting revenge in the mud, he was missing the sunrise. He was missing the laughter of the village children. He was missing his own life. One day, an old monk found Wei sitting by the river, skipping stones. The monk saw the dark cloud over Wei's aura. "You carry a heavy stone in your heart, my son," the monk said. "Put it down." "I cannot," Wei replied. "A thief took my life. Justice has not been served." The monk smiled gently. "Justice is not a weapon you hold. It is a river that flows. You cannot push the river. You must wait. Build your house, plant your garden. Let the river flow." Wei took the advice. He stopped looking for Han. He started a small garden. He grew tea. He was honest, kind, and hard-working. Slowly, prosperity returned to him, not the great fortune of jade, but a quiet, steady abundance. He found peace. He forgot the face of the man who betrayed him. 10 years later, Wei was selling his tea in the capital city. A commotion broke out in the street. A man was being dragged out of a gambling house, thrown into the mud. The man was dressed in rags, his skin covered in sores, his eyes wild with paranoia and madness. He was screaming about demons, about shadows following him. Wei looked closer. The man was old before his time, toothless and broken. But Wei recognized him. It was Han. Wei stepped forward, not with a knife, but with curiosity. A bystander whispered to Wei, "That is the madman, Han. They say years ago he arrived in the city with a stolen fortune, but he never spent a coin of it peacefully. He was so afraid someone would steal it from him as he had stolen it that he never slept. He trusted no one. He hid the money, moved it, buried it, and eventually, in his madness, he forgot where he hid it. The paranoia ate his mind. He lost everything, not to a thief, but to his own shadow." Wei looked at the shivering wreck of a man in the mud. He felt no anger. He felt no triumph. He only felt a deep, profound pity. The karma was not that Han was punished by an external force. The karma was that Han had to live as Han. His betrayal had become his prison. Wei placed a warm, steamed bun next to the man, bowed his head silently, and walked away. He walked back to his garden, lighter than he had ever been. The river had flowed. "My dear friend, let us decode the wisdom of the mountains. You are hurting because you feel the scales of the universe are unbalanced. You see the person who betrayed you smiling, succeeding, or living their life as if they did nothing wrong. It feels unfair. Your blood boils and your heart races. But let me speak to you now, not just as a storyteller, but as a guardian of your health. When you hold on to the desire for revenge, or when you ruminate on the betrayal, your body does not know the difference between a thought and a tiger. Your brain releases cortisol and adrenaline. Your blood pressure rises. Your digestion stops. Your immune system weakens. You are physically poisoning yourself in hopes that the other person will die. In the story, Han's punishment was not a lightning bolt from the sky. It was the internal rot of his own character. A person who betrays has broken their connection to the source of peace. They live in a world of mirrors, constantly looking over their shoulder. They may have money, they may have status, but they do not have the one thing that matters: a clean soul and a quiet mind. This is the law of karma. It is not always swift, but it is always certain. The energy we put out is the energy we must inhabit. Han lived in a house built of lies, and eventually, the roof collapsed on him. Your prescription today is radical acceptance and detachment. You must understand that their betrayal has nothing to do with your worth, and everything to do with their struggle. You do not need to check their social media. You do not need to ask mutual friends about them. You do not need to wait for their downfall. Let the river flow. By letting go, you are not saying what they did was right. You are saying that your peace is more important than their punishment. You are evicting them from your head. Tonight, I want you to visualize that heavy stone of betrayal. Visualize the face of the one who hurt you. And in your mind's eye, see yourself placing that stone gently on the side of a flowing river. Watch the water rush past it. Turn your back on the stone. Walk toward your garden. You are safe now. You are whole. You are free.